bowling center. His father used to run it before Patrick bought it. He started with about 40 over right now, which I think is the highest score.
Looks that way. We have.
He also said he was in the top 4 last year, so he was probably going to want to do that again.
The other one that seems to be feeling comfortable at the moment is Noel. And he just was the leader. The very best, but especially if the amateurs that are watching the online at the moment. It's one of those situations where you want to try to bowl safe, at least at the beginning. Don't get yourself into too many troubles. Try to stay away from the penalty zones. Stay alive in a way, and then wait for the lanes to come to you. And then when the lanes open up a little bit, then is when you can try to increase your score pace.
Yeah, we definitely saw a little bit higher scores from game 3, 4, 5. Newell did start last block with 230 bowling with a urethane ball, but after one game it started to look pretty bad, so he switched to a reactive and he got to 1327, so he's in second place overall. But it's also important to know that during all the squads until Monday, there's also something called the early bird squats.
Hmm.
So the four bowlers that doesn't, the four best bowlers that doesn't make the real cut, they make it anyway to the final.
From the early birds. Yeah.
So the points are a little bit more important than usual in these blocks.
Another thing that we can see, since it's a PBA event, it's obviously with the regulation of the PBA rules. So that means no soft urethane at all. No pitch black, no purple hammer, no older tank versions. If anybody wants to use urethane, they have to go to a 78 hardness. That's the black hammer, IQ 78. So that also, I guess, especially for the young players that are really comfortable bowling with urethane, it may be a little bit of stressing having to live behind some of the equipment they are more used to throw on the lanes. And yeah, it's a little bit tight pattern. It's not such a big room, and it's quite interesting.
And on the same subject, on lane 7 now is Joakim Karlsson. He bowled in the Swedish national team 11 years ago in the World Championship, and he has made a new run for trying to make it again now. So last week he re-entered Team Sweden.
Uh-huh.
And
So he's back on track.
He's back on track. He's leading the PBA Sweden ranking.
The regional? Yeah.
The regional one, and he started here with 248, which is a great score.
Which proves he's on the strong motivation again to perform and to do things the right way. And it's always nice when you kind of reconnect with the sport and you feel that motivation and that hunger to train again and become better again and show yourself out there.
And on the subject, I had a talk with him, and we talked about what he needed to do try to make Team Sweden, and he's done a lot better than we hoped, both him and me. And he said that, well, it's good to know. I thought I was a little bit further behind everyone because I haven't bowled for competitive for 10 years. But during those 10 years, a lot of bowler has not gonna say they lost the importance of being accurate and repeating your shot, because
I guess the evolution of the game has brought the bowlers to get used to different things that we did a few years back.
Or they have been getting used to having a lot of room.
I'm trying to say in the polite way, so nobody gets angry.
Yeah.
In a way, we feel like the patterns lately are a little bit easier than they used to be 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. So I think Joakim, where he started to practice a lot again, I think that he is now taking advantage of that. He has an extremely powerful shot, but he is fairly accurate too.
He's also coming from that old school where we needed to be very accurate with our shots. We had less room on the lanes. He had the bowling balls were not sucking as much amount of oil as they are doing now, so the area was becoming there. It was there. We create area, but it wasn't getting as big as we see nowadays.
We see James can get to 240, and also Marcus Jansson is doing well. He can get to 240 if he has a good last frame. So
Marcus is the son of Raymond.
Yes,
Raymond Jansson.
Correct.
Mr. 8-pin.
Yes.
Yeah, we all remember that. I think we're going to remember that for the rest of our lives. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about Reno 1995 World Championships. Raymond was bowling the final against, I don't remember, was it China or Taiwan?
Spinner.
Taipei? Well, it was a spinner, and it was brand new for us, so we were not really used to see the spinners and the way they strike. They strike in. They have a very big pocket, we would say. They can hit the head pin in many different ways and still strike. And when we didn't know so much about it, it felt like it was a lucky thing. Obviously now we learned, or later on we learned, that they bowled a deflection. That explained the reason why they could carry so much with light balls and hitting all over the head pin. But the fact is that Raymond made a perfect shot. If he struck out, he would have won the gold medal. And he made that perfect shot. He get a real solid 8-pin. And Raymond, if you're hearing, I'm sorry I'm reminding you that, but it was a good shot anyway.
For sure.
So we see a lot of high scores and low scores. It's a big nothing in between. I see 150, 160, 120. another 150 over there. But then the guys are scoring quite higher. It's a couple of 220s and 230 over 234 for Simon. And James struck out, so he did 249. What about the rest of Team Sweden? How are they doing?
Well, Ilhamar can get to 239, and last time we saw him in this bowling center, he was using a ball that he can't use now, but we are here quite a lot, so I think he's fairly comfortable here.
I would say Robin had an amazing summer. He has been
Yeah.
successful pretty much
Yeah.
everywhere he went. He destroyed the.
3 tournaments: European champion, world champion, and then one
And then he
tournament
went
in
to
Madrid.
Madrid, right? And
Won
he,
that too.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then he went home for vacation.
he deserved vacation.
And it's a little bit of a mic drop
Yeah.
situation. Thank you guys. I'm skipping the next one. Good luck.
Take it easy. I'll be back in 1 month. We could ask Victor. Victor, how did you feel? Because you bowled the squad yesterday night, and then you bowled again this morning. Last night it was not that many youth bowlers, so it wasn't that many urethane on the lane, and it was a little bit deeper line, so the lanes felt like they were opening up a little bit more. And this morning on the other side, because it was an under 21 squad. It was a lot of urethane going on. We know the young kids, because of their power and their high speed, they tend to use urethane more often than the older people. But that kind of created a little bit of a tougher lane condition as the day went on. Did you really feel that difference between last night and this morning?
I think I think in a way I didn't feel it as much as I sometimes do, because, for example, the Black Hammer, which was the one mostly used, doesn't carry the oil down as some other certain urethane balls do. But I was playing pretty deep in both today and yesterday, which I think made it so I was kind of inside of that urethane line for quite a bit of the time. So even though I had a tough day today, I don't think that's necessarily down to the urethane transition. But yeah, I did feel at the end of today's squad definitely that missing out was a no go, because the ball would never come
It's
back
a big
at all.
penalty zone when you
Yeah.
miss to the outside.
And especially if that urethane carry down is down there.
Also, as you said, you probably said in a very polite way that the urethane is not that it wasn't destroying the lane that much, but maybe I should ask it the other way around. Since it wasn't that many reactive bolts that really generate that area by sucking the oil away, maybe the lanes didn't open up as much as they did on the previous 20 ball.
For sure. Yesterday I found a really great spot after about two and a half games, I think, where I could essentially I could miss a bit inside, I could miss a bit outside, and the ball would always find the pocket. That spot never really opened up for me today, as you said, which I think you might have a point in that the reactive balls haven't been there to suck the oil away and make that little dry spot on the outside.
And that's one of the things that's happening with modern bowling, since the equipment is more and more aggressive and stronger reaction, and so the chemistry on the balls is getting more. How could we say it? The balls affect more the pens than they used to affect them before. So you need to be really aware of what goes on around you. Next pair I'm going to go, I need to find out what's going to happen. Am I going to have more room? Am I going to have a little bit less room? And you need to be a little bit more, use the strategy a little bit, I would say. I mean, if I know I'm going to follow somebody that's not going to make my lanes a little bit easier, maybe I don't want to try to make 260 right away. Maybe the next game is better to play safe, be happy with a 210 or 215, and wait for the next change of lanes and see if someone has generated a little bit of extra room for you. All right, so they're starting the game number 2. Still, we're not going to see that much transition. We're going to expect to see people moving deeper and deeper after probably on game 3 and 4. On 4th game, they're going to start moving in. And then 5th and 6th game is going to be a lot deeper than it is now.
Also say that we have one of the more foreign players here already, Tun Hakim, who is a pretty fresh PBA titleist from Malaysia. He's bowling his first squad now. He's not doing too well, but he also have a pretty long trip under his belt.
Probably a little bit of a jet lag for him as well.
So I think that getting that kind of start is probably going to make him try a lot of different things for this block and just.
Also, I believe when you make such a long trip to play a competition, you're obviously not going to bowl just one or two squads. So if you're not going to get very concerned if things doesn't really work out while you're doing that first squad, if you see things aren't working the way you want, you're just actually going to use that as a practice session.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to see where is the limit, how far can I miss outside, how deep can I go, and try to do all this try to get as much information as you can from the lane, so then when you jump into the next squad and the ones following after, you have a better idea on what you want to do and what you for sure don't want to do.
Yeah. I think it's almost more dangerous to stay to the right for too long than to move a little bit too quickly
Too
inside.
quickly to the left
So
or inside.
I think that when we see the Americans guys coming in, because their solution is very often just moving left. So let's see, and he's very good at that too. So I'm sure we're gonna see him moving a lot left. So who else do we have? We have William Svensson, who is leading the tournament, got off to a fairly horrible start.
Yeah.
So obviously it's also a little bit strange feeling that because these are important squads too. Just on the Wednesday after this tournament is done, we're picking the team that's going to play the World Championship.
Okay, so it's actually, maybe it could be a factor. Maybe the guys, if they don't feel they have their spot secured on the team, they get a little bit of pressure. Ooh, I need to perform now. The coach is here. Every one of my competitors to get that spot.
Yeah.
It's also here, and I need to prove that I'm ready for that.
Yeah, and what makes it tricky now on the same subject as the bowling balls, the different squads, it's pretty hard for me to evaluate certain results when you made a result in a squad where you were alone or a squad. So I like to watch these squads because now I know that they are bowling exactly on the same.
Yeah, more or less at the same atmosphere, same pattern, same conditions, we could say. I mean, the pattern is going to be the same one, obviously, the whole week. But in terms of temperature, humidity, surroundings on the bowling alley, how much people do we have in the alley? So all these small factors that also are part of the lane evolution during the day, it's going to be the same for all of them. So you can see how they struggle, how they survive when they struggle, how they decide to move in or out and do the ball changes and all that kind of things. So it's a lot of information you can get from that too. I wouldn't like to be in your position at the moment.
It will be very, very hard because the bowling scene is very weird now compared to let's say 5 years ago. We had a European tour, so on the men's side it's pretty clear, like if you wanted to be in the national team you would play the European tour, and then after the tour is done after a year, most likely it's going to be the 6 best people on the ranking of the European tour. But now the European tour is basically doesn't have any tournaments. Tournaments are still going on, but they're not on the tour.
Yeah.
Then we have the PBA Sweden. Then we have the Elite
Series.
And then some people go to the States, bowl the PBA. Some people don't. So it's a little bit hard to evaluate.
It has to be hard to evaluate everyone, especially for a team like Team Sweden. You have so many talented bowlers. I mean, I'm not going to say there's 100 bowlers that could be in Team Sweden, but surely or fairly, at least you have 20 bowlers with a talent or 25 bowlers with a talent that they could actually make it into the team at some point.
Yeah, and that's the hard part is how often do you want to change players? I mean, one of the most important thing for me is how you perform in the championships. So if you already performed really well, that got you to the championships, and you do a good championship, yeah, most likely you're going to be in the team next time too, not depending so much on the other stuff. Because then I know that you know how
You know
to
what the bowler
prepare,
can give
you
you
know
as a
what to
ball.
do,
Yeah.
you know. So the hardest part is to get in there the first time. So we have some scores. James Blomgren 249, Joachim Karlsson 248, Marcus Jansson 235. So
Yeah, we actually see 8 people above 220. So even if we said the pattern is tough and the lanes are not that easy, we already said it's a lot of talent on the lanes at the moment. You think we're gonna see some 1400 today?
said
Little high, but maybe
yeah,
if they are all more or less using that kind of same spot and open up the lanes enough, maybe. I think game 2 is gonna be important to see, especially for those who started with 240, 230. See how they hit the first transition of them all, and the first part that they have not really made their warm up in there, so they need to adjust quickly enough. But if they manage to do also a good second game, and then we can expect the lane is going to start opening up, maybe.
for sure. But if James bowls a good game now, he has a good chance of getting to 1400 because then the lanes will not be so different for him.
Now I was going to say James cannot expect the lanes to open up that much since he's a lefty. But on the other hand, if he managed to do good on fresh, that probably says he's going to be comfortable all day long.
So we'll see how he proceeds. I think also the Marcus Johnson, for example, he has a track record of doing pretty well here early in the qualification. Last 2 years he qualified right away, and then he just came back next Sunday to bowl finals. But today, so he started good, but struggling a little bit this game.
A couple of spell misses, one washout.
Martin, a little bit under. I see some of the guys are struggling a bit now. It's a transition game. Game 2 it's tricky.
That's what we said. Game 1, you got all the warm-ups, so you have some time to even find the place you want to bowl on, or even generate your own extra area by using maybe a dull ball and staying a little bit to the right or to the left, if you're a lefty, of where you really want to bowl, so you make a little bit of extra room. But then when you go to the next pair, okay, where did they make that area? Was it a little bit deeper? Was it a little bit further outside? Again, if anybody wants to ask any questions, just feel free to just text on YouTube, and we will try to answer any of your comments or any of your questions. And that's the main idea. We're not only here to talk about what we see, but also to promote the sport and help everybody out there. If you have any doubts about what we're talking about, if you're a little bit more amateur or you're new in the game and some of the stuff we're talking about, you feel it's a little bit out of context or you really don't understand what we're talking about, just feel free to text and ask us. We'll be happy to answer.
And also say, except for Team Sweden, they are also joined here by our youth group, which is boys up to age 21.
Okay, so we could say it's not only the Team A,
Yeah.
but also the younger ones.
Yes. So there are 7 of those.
How many of those young ones are one-handed bowlers?
It's the commentator to the right of me. No, so there it's 2-handed.
They're all of them as two-handed. Yeah, it's the bowling is evolving into that. I did a small camp in Bollnäs a couple of weeks ago, and the one-handers, they were all the seniors, and the young kids, it was all two hands.
Yeah.
It's funny to see though, and that's the other thing I see nowadays. 5 years ago, except Simonson, nobody would go back up. Nowadays, all these kids bowling two hands, at least 50% of them, they use also the backup.
He was very dominant in the Youth World Championship in Korea last time, where the only two right-handed medalists was Carl and Petit, both bowling backup.
Cool.
So, so the only way to get a medal during that championship as a right-hander is that you needed some good friends that's left-handers for the team event. Or ball back.
When we were here like a month and a half ago, something like that, for the under 21 Wolf youth, I was mesmerized by the Norwegian guy, Matthias.
Mhm.
He does it so easy, and also he can bowl like a regular two-hander, hooking the ball, and he can suddenly go back up. He posted a video on Instagram, like I think it was 3 weeks ago, making a shot back up. It was on 600 RPMs, even on backup. I mean, my wrist was hurting just to see
Yeah,
that.
it's a good rev rate. I have to say that it's a little bit tricky from spectre to spectre to.
The
But
variables, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but we have a few 600 plus people in the team. Joachim Karlsson making it with only one hander.
One hand, yeah. I mean, it still can be done for those of you who are beginning and should I bowl two hands? Should I bowl one hand? Well, nothing is right, nothing is wrong. I mean, the two-handers are starting to dominate the sport. It's obviously we cannot deny that, but we still see one-handed bowlers that are incredibly successful. We can say EJ Tackett is the number one
Of course.
example, bowling one hand, and he doesn't have any issues with power or speed or rev rate or either winning.
No. He's for sure, but it's very easy to say the Tackett thing. It comes up quite a lot, but after him, there's quite a lot of two handers.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, when we went to the tour, so Joachim he bowled the last World Championship 2014, and before that he was playing. He won some titles on the European Tour in San Marino, and he also went to the States a few times. And he got the nickname the Beast.
The Beast, because of the
Uh,
power.
Yeah, and
That's funny.
we made a lot of fun. He didn't like the nickname very much, so whatever he did, we took a picture of it and we just added like a
The
beast, eating breakfast like a beast. But yeah,
Yeah, it seems like on second game, except a couple of exceptions, a score pace has gone a little bit lower. We see a lot of open frames all around the alley. But we said that from the beginning. Game two is going to be the most tricky one, probably. When you hit the first transition and you want to find out, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to go straighter? Am I going to go deeper? Is it time to change ball? Maybe should I move deeper and slow down my speed and stay away from the traffic? It's a lot of decisions you need to make, and you need to understand what's going to happen. And unless you have ball already or you have a very clear mind, when you start thinking about too many things, you can confuse yourself as well.
yeah.
You actually got a question in here now
Okay.
from Daniel Milton asking which ball is the most popular in this year's competition.
Well,
Assuming he's
it's
referring to
been,
this.
I would say it hasn't been enough series already. We haven't seen enough squads. I don't see any ball that has been dominant. If you ask me outside this competition, I would say the new Ion Pro Solid seems to be gaining a lot of room among the bowlers. But so far, it's hard to say because it's not really a pattern that it's going to be urethane friendly. So we don't really see any ball dominating so far. It's a little bit of everything. We see bowlers trying many different things, and I don't know. Have you seen any ball more dominant than others at the moment?
No, not from what I've seen.
I would just say that the difficult part of picking a ball here is that you have to. It's a 44 feet pattern, but it's not. It's not that much oil in the end of the paddle, so it's gonna feel like it hooks a little bit more than 44 feet paddle.
It's a lot of oil on the heads, but then it's just kind of brushed down.
Yeah, and also it's tricky. So that means that you don't want to give up too much control.
Mm.
So I would say that probably not gonna see too many really strong balls.
No,
In the
no,
beginning.
on the beginning, in the beginning, exactly. You want to have some ball that is not gonna overdo and overreact at the minimum change you do on your speed or the release, or you grip it just a little bit more. You want a ball that's gonna be fair to control, but then on the other hand, unless you have a lot of rev rate, you cannot really go for a hard urethane, because since we are talking, it's a very deep line. The urethane typically reads pretty early. That's why you have control. But if it reads pretty early and you're bowling deep inside in the lane, the angle that's going to give you in the pocket is going to be very weak.
Yeah.
So you're not going to carry. So it's a little bit of deciding, do I want to play a little bit safer? Do I want to take a little bit more of risks?
Yeah, so from the guys that I've seen scoring high, it's, as I said, not any particular ball, but a lot of pearl symmetric or slightly weaker balls that get through the oil and create that downlane motion.
So we can see now Joachim bowls 249 again.
Again?
48 last time.
We
So
have too many screens in front of me. I lost him. Which lane is he bowling on?
He is bowling on 11-12.
11-12. Sorry, yeah, 249. So he's on 497 at the moment.
And we can also see that both Ilhamar and James on 15-16 is also doing fairly well. Also, we have to say now that Rasmus Nordensson, only 14 years old, can also strike one more time to have 70 over for 2 games.
14.
Yeah.
It's part of the youth you were mentioning.
No,
Not yet.
No, 14, and you are starting to approach the junior team.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our second group, the kids who are here.
Well, if he was Spanish, he would be already on the national team.
Yeah, but to be honest, I want to be clear that we don't demand our 14-year-olds to play the PBA events.
Yeah, no,
I'm very happy to see that he's here. I hope he can learn some. And I'm very good friends with his father, so I'm sure he is very proud right now.
And it's got to be a wonderful experience for him. I mean, to bowl among the best bowlers in the planet, it's got to be such an experience. It's going to give him extra motivation to keep practicing, to keep learning, to keep improving.
For sure. So let's see how Noel is doing now. Where is he? He's about even, so he's gonna be about 20 over. I'm sure he's somewhere feels a little bit satisfied with last block because of those early birds.
Yeah.
We're getting some questions here. What we think this cut's gonna be when I'm out walking around in the bowling center, and that's also very hard to predict at this point.
I'm gonna use my crystal head, and
I guess 1332.
I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna go for 1350.
All right.
I'm a very positive person at the moment.
Yeah.
Now I think 1350, because even if the lanes are a little bit tough, I believe when we get not only that people have bowled before, so they have a better idea on what they want to do, but especially they have a better idea on what they don't want to do. And as soon as they stop doing the wrong things or the wrong choices and decisions, it's going to make the lanes a little bit easier for everyone around it.
Yeah.
And as soon as we have a lot of bowlers using the same area, then it should open up even more than it did until now. So we should have a little bit of higher scoring pace that we have been having on this first couple of days of play.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bet on 1350. Let's see who's.
And looking at cuts, last year the cut to the top 40, which are the ones that go straight to the final without early bird, that was 1393. And let me just very quickly check what it was in 2023 as well. Which
I think it was 130 something. I think.
Yeah, 2023 was actually to the top 444 advanced that year, but to top 40 was
Top
1337.
40 was 37. Yeah.
And I'd say out of those two patterns, I'd say 23 is a lot more similar to this year than last year's pattern.
23 was a little longer
Yeah.
and a little thicker in amount of oil as well. But
Yeah.
even if it was longer and thicker, I bowled that year, so I remember the lane at the end of the squad. It had already opened up.
Yeah.
The thing is also Olympia is AMF surface. I believe it's SPL, and it has quite a lot of friction. If we had that same pattern on Brunswick surface, it would feel a little bit longer, I believe.
Yeah. Now we can see also Hakim from Malaysia. He's fighting his jet lag a bit now, so he can punch out for 248 to be back to even. But James can go to 20, so he can be 70 over.
70 over.
And
Robin is
like 50, 60 over.
Yeah, we have 458 for the young kid, for Rasmus at age 14. We had a 257 on lane one. Theo Sten, so he recovered from game one. It was a little bit low. So now he's going to be happy sitting on 23 over. Oi. Philip Williamson seems to be struggling a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like they are all struggling on 1920.
1920, yeah.
1920 in the center. For anybody who has, yeah, it is very funky. It hooks a lot more than the rest of the center, from what I can feel, and a lot earlier. So it's easier to. I feel it's easier to leave like a 10 pin or weaker pins on that pair.
Do you feel like that is even more on 20 than 19?
Yes.
So it also makes them a bit tricky because they are a little bit different from each other.
Yeah. If I speak about the league play that I play a lot here, I'd say I almost always stand 2 to 3 boards more left on 20 than I do on 19 because of how much more it's hooking and how much earlier it's hooking.
But that's something we see pretty much everywhere in the world. The corner lanes, they always have that tendency to be slightly different. It could be because of the construction, maybe the topography, and it could also be they are so close to the walls of the building, so the climate outside, it can affect it, even the heat, even the cold. So it's a variable factors that intervene in what goes on the lanes. We usually, and I'm including myself because I did that when I was younger and I had less knowledge. We have the tendency to blame whatever goes on the oil guy and the machine. The guy doesn't know how to oil the lanes, or the machine is broken and it's not cleaning properly, or it's cleaning too much, and it's actually a lot of factors happening. It's never the man of the machine, and whatever happens on the lanes is usually the bowlers. Whatever the bowlers are doing is going to affect the lane. So you guys out there, stop blaming the oil guy and understand that transitions is about the traffic that the bowlers are creating.
The only thing to watch out for is that in these big professional events, you always do what you call your burner lane. So if you would just put the machine down and oil the lane once, it would be a lot drier than the other lanes. Because usually you need to run a lane for the machine to get all the oil inside the machine. So that's the only thing that the oil guy can do wrong.
Oil guy can do wrong.
Forget to do that.
Forget to kind of get the oil brush wet.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen in this kind of events.
No. We are very lucky with Chris being here. He's one of the better oilmen out there on the planet. And he's also very open, very kind. He's going to do a seminar in this event. Besides the main event and the bowling and the competition, we have a few different things going on this Storm Lucky Larsen. We have a friendly golf competition next Wednesday. We have a kind of a party where everybody's invited later on the bowling alley that Wednesday as well. We had this morning a seminar with people from Strike Mind. They were talking a little bit about mental game and how to control pressure, how to control when you get angry and stuff like that. We know also that Matt McNeil's going to come from Storm's going to talk a little bit about material and speak a little bit about layouts. So it's a very interesting week. I mean, some people, especially for example for me that I come from south of Europe, a lot of bowlers tell me like, no, I cannot come and bowl this kind of thing. It's I don't have the level, I don't have the skills. But it's not only about competing; it's about getting into an atmosphere where you're gonna learn a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and you can see a lot of things going on that then you can bring back to your own country. So it's not one of those events you just care about, oh, I go there, I have to win, or I need to make the cut to get some money back. It's a lot more going on.
Yeah, you can get a lot of valuable information. I'm gonna have to ask you about every time you guys talk about the golf thing. You say everyone is saying a friendly golf tournament.
It's not that
What
friendly.
what has happened on this golf tournament before that you need to be so important to tell everyone it's gonna be friendly?
Yeah, I guess for that we should find the owner of the alley and ask him a little bit.
No, no, I'm just kidding.
We're just gonna say, see how friendly that golf event is gonna be. That
Yep.
when I checked on my Instagram the last 10 days,
Mhm.
the owner of the alley has been golfing every single
Yeah.
day. So I guess he really cares about his
Yeah.
performance on that golf event.
All right, so we have some good scores from Joachim. Unfortunately, a split for Ilhamar in the 10th frame and a decent score for James. We do have some fairly low scores from the bowlers on 1920 right now.
Yeah, we see Marcus Johnson with 160. We see Philip going for a 130 something. That's quite surprising. But that also tells you it doesn't matter how good you are or how talented you are, everybody can struggle. Everybody can have a very low game. What's important is what you learn on that game and what you do after that game. Are you going to carry that upset feeling in your mind for way too long so it's going to affect the rest of the day? Or are you going to be cool and smart enough to just leave it in the past and focus on whatever goes on right after?
Yeah.
We are getting old. We give what you call it, wise.
Yeah. It's very easy to say that.
Yeah, very easy to say, very tough to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when you look back and think about your own reactions to certain things, you could have done it differently.
I don't know how many T-shirts
Yeah.
how many bowling T-shirts I lost on the way because I did the whole Hogan in the middle of the. There was a time in my life, I have to be open about it. I had to go to the events with two bowling shirts because I knew at some point I would explode. I go whole Hogan, and the shirt would be open, and I was already tired of bowling half the squad with like an open shirt.
I did the Hulk Hogan thing in Qatar once where it was even worse because I got a 10 pin in the last frame. I ripped the shirt and I miscalculated, so I actually made the cut. So I had to try to tape it together because it was one of those where you got a shirt in the beginning of the tournament and everyone had the same. So I had to put it together with thumb tape. That was a little bit embarrassing. But
Yeah, well, we all do things. But on the other hand, unless you make some mistakes at some point, you cannot learn from them. What's important is that you learn from your mistakes and you don't do them again,
yeah.
or try not to do them again. And also, when you become a little bit older, like it's our case now, we are more into coaching than really bowling ourselves, that we can help the younger generations not to make those same mistakes that we did in the past.
Yeah, it is I don't think you should act like that. But if you turn it around and you see many of the greatest bowlers in the world, they were kind of crazy when they were kids.
Oh yes, oh yes. I mean, all of them.
So I also I also don't like to see when somebody's really struggling or doing something and then you see nothing. That's a little bit scary
No,
for me
yeah,
because
that's a little bit. It
when
feels
you
like
see the kids become upset or mad, they don't have to kick things, but it means that you really, really want it.
I said sometimes when somebody is acting like that, like they make a lot of mistakes and it seems like they don't care.
Mhm.
Then I'm go like, "Eh, is he really hungry about
Yeah.
competing with us? Is he really hungry to try to achieve something, or he really is not getting angry because he doesn't care?
Exactly. Okay, so we got a score update. Joakim Karlsson, almost 100 over. James, 70 over. Rasmus Norensson, 60 over. Ilhamar, 40. Robin Norberg is in the youth group. So he's the best youth player right now. And usually, when the scoring pace goes a little bit lower, the older guys
They have a
are
tendency
yeah.
to shine a little bit
Yes.
more. Yes. And that has to do with what we were talking a little bit sooner, that 10, 15 years ago, it felt like we bowled on a little bit tighter patterns than we are doing nowadays. Mostly probably because of the machines as well. The machines, the oil machines were not so sophisticated as they are today. Now the oil board by board, they decide the amount of oil they're gonna drop on each board and all that kind of stuff. And back then, I remember, even if we go further away, when the centering machines were there, it's just on cart. But the thicker the card, the more pressure it would apply on the oil brush, or more oil would be on the lane. But those cards were 5 boards thick, so that means everything was happening every 5 boards. Now they do things board by board.
Yeah, I think also there was a time when everything goes in waves a little bit. I usually tell the story about now we're going to go back in time again, but but we had Tim Mack, one of the best bowlers in the world, starting traveling to Sweden while we had the Super 6 tour, and then the pattern was fairly easy. And he would dominate it because he was the first real cranker.
Yeah.
He had twice as much rev rates as everyone else.
Yeah.
Keep winning everything. And then maybe 2 or 3 years after that, for some reason, everyone decided to make really, really difficult pattern. And at the same time, Anders Öhman, another very
I
good
remember, yeah.
sharpshooter, he came back from retirement going, what are you guys doing? It's just this super easy lane. And we couldn't do anything because we were so used to the easy lanes for 3 years. And he would dominate.
Dominate, being so accurate like no
just-
one else could. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for me, where I started to struggle in my career a little bit, it was a time where almost every tournament was 39 feet because they figured out that they needed women, men, people with a lot of rev rate, low rev rate, and this sort like 39 feet, everyone can bowl that. But that became very speed dominant. The faster you can throw it, the more controlled bowling ball you can use. And I wasn't throwing it so fast. And then we came into the, let's call it the Purple Hammer era, where accuracy has not been super important. So I think that's a good reason why maybe some of the kids haven't prioritized that. But I have to
it
say,
makes sense. I mean, the younger they are, the less time they have been on the game, so they have experienced what they have experienced.
Yeah.
And if as you very well said, the bowling has been moving kind of in waves. For me, I remember the first big change I noticed in the bowling industry, it was when the synthetic lanes came up. Because when I started bowling as a kid, especially in Spain, they didn't invest that much in bowling alleys. So we had a very few amount of bowling alleys, but they were all wooden lanes. And those lanes were really tough. But also on that era, to be the local player, it gave you a lot of advantage. I remember when we bowled the event in Barcelona or Mallorca, the guys that were coming down from Finland and Sweden, all of them were better than I was. But I knew each lane. Every time I changed pair, I knew exactly if I had to move a little bit right or a little bit left. And that always gave me those couple of frames of advantage. So it was kind of bowling with handicap when you were the local bowler.
Same thing in Tali. When there was wood lanes in Tali Bowling Center in Helsinki, you couldn't beat the Finnish guys
No,
because
it was
they were
impossible.
there all the time.
Yeah, I remember those guys, Passi Vuttila,
Yeah.
you know, they were impossible to Kai Virtanen also. They were impossible to beat over there.
I just remember one time Lasse Lintilä joined Pergamon, and I played a squad with him, and he just told me what to do in each lane. And that was really
And
easy.
then it was a lot easier.
All right.
Yeah, we had some experience. I mean, I remember when Patrick Backe came down to bowl in Benidorm. I told him what to do, but it didn't function very well for him. It was a little bit too dry back then.
Was that when you ripped the inserts out of
He
the
had to
strike
bowl
ball?
with the spare ball and take away the inserts because he had a lot of reb rate, he had a lot of hook, but we had very little amount of oil. If I was a good artist drawer, I could draw his face because I still remember when I said to him, "We're gonna bowl on that squad because it's when they are fixing the lanes." But when he saw the way they were fixing the lanes, he looked at me like, "What are they doing?" I said, "They are fixing the lanes." That's not fixing the lanes. That's remember that day, buddy? It was a very tough event actually. I won that one and I bowled below 200 average. So it was very tough, very dry. I remember I brought 9 balls, all of them shiny, and Patrick was asking me, "Why are you bringing all the balls shiny?" I said, "Wait till we get there and you'll understand." I would simply change ball every couple of games because the surface was gone, and that also was a Buden lane, but it had not been resurfaced for I don't know, probably since they installed the lanes. So when the boards were opening, the oil would fall in between the boards and the heads would become super dry. So back to the action. Let's see. We have Joachim with 497, James 472, and Rasmus 458. Let's find them on the lanes and see how they're doing now. Rasmus is with 3 open frames on lanes 17, 18.
And Robin is actually doing pretty well on 1920.
On 1920, I was going to say, yeah.
As a group, they found a better solution.
I wonder how is it going to affect James being a lefty to bowl on 1920. Is he going to feel that big of a difference or not that much?
I don't know, but he has for sure done it so many times that he has a good idea what to do if it is different.
He's got a lot of talent. He's one of the players I really enjoy watching because he has that kind of a mix between modern bowling and old school. It's kind of a mix of both. He's got the best of the both worlds, I would say. He's got the balance and the control and a little bit the elegance of the old school, but then he's got the power and the rev rates as well as pretty much a modern bowler.
For sure. It's become like before you never like you as a right-handed you need a rev rate, but as a lefty it's fine. You don't need any rev rate. But that's not how it is
No,
anymore.
now it's a different game.
Yeah. So I would say he's still in of course he's also not young anymore, but I would say he's around 460, 470 RPMs, and that's on the lower side of Team Sweden now. Ilhamar is doing well now. You can see him too, when we were watching the World Championship, but also handling his emotions. He's very good at that.
Yeah.
He got a big split the last frame. You see him just go, crap, and then he takes 2, just continues next game. Not any worse than that.
No, and we said before, it's not only about the technique, it's not only about finding the easy spot on the lane, it's not only understanding which ball's going to give you the carry, but it's also to control your emotions. I mean, you can be the very best in the planet on technique and lane reading and grabbing the right ball, but if your mind is not set properly, you're still going to lose control, you're going to lose the abilities that made you who you are, and then it's game over.
Victor Albin. Maybe you can check Victor. I'm pretty sure that he one of the other years made a massive block here.
Yeah, he did something last year, I think. I can actually go into the results and check that. Yeah, let me check this exactly what score it was, but it was very high. I remember that.
I remember he was doing so well. directly.
And I think he was only like beaten on the last day by Jesper, if I'm not. Yeah, 15-25.
15-25.
He qualified like that in his first squad last time, also fairly early. And now he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, and as I said, he only lost the qualifying lead in at the very end to Jesper.
And he's 400 for 2 games, but he has a potentially very good game now. So sometimes you just match up well to the bowling center. Like we said, Marcus has the year before that. Marcus qualified also right away in his first block.
I think he shot a 300 on day 1.
Yeah, if you check Marcus, because I think he made a massive score, even though he didn't bowl so well in the last game.
Yeah,
Yeah, 1480 when the cap was much lower.
And he qualified in first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and he did shoot 210 in the last one, but he had 1270 for 5. Look, so he missed. He was 40 from the cut after 5 games, which is fairly impressive.
Yeah.
All right, just saw on lane 15 and 16, Philip and Carl, who did not start on their best, especially for Carl. But both of them are really, really, really deep inside. I saw Philip around board 24, 23 on the arrows, and Carl was even deeper. And now they seem to strike. They both have a double, so I'm thinking the transition starts to show up in some of the pairs, and we can see the bowlers start to go deeper and deeper.
Joachim is struggling a little bit.
He was a little bit further outside than the two of them, because I just saw first was a Philip shot, then was Carl, and then when I saw Joachim, it was like at least 5 boards further right. You see how deep that was for Carl? So he moved like 26 more or less in the arrow, 26, 27, and it looks like he missed one to the right. That's why he got a soft 10. Ball read a little bit earlier. And Martin is not having a lot of fun either. Struggling a little bit today.
He just made a pretty good spare.
Yeah, he made a big spare. Yeah. But Martin is old school. I mean, we can expect that from Martin, that he's going to spare whatever you leave him over there.
Yeah.
Not the same as we saw a couple of months ago, right? There wasn't that many spares happening on the youth one.
No.
It was more striking, definitely. Yeah. Not that much spare.
Well, we can't blame Robin for that, because he averaged 280 in the finals. So there's not too much room for spare shots.
He shot a 295.
That was an amazing. That was an amazing final, definitely.
Yeah. I think he bowled, like the previous World Championship, he bowled 558 for 2, and then he did even better here by bowling 573. So that's hard to beat. See, Rasmus is digging himself out of the hole. He had a 62 in the 5th frame, but he now has 4 strikes after that, so he can still get to 212.
And we have also on lane 5-6, Anton Persson working on a potential 279. That's going to help him jump back. He had almost the par. It started with 160, but the second game was already pretty nice, 239, and now he's working for a 270. So it looks like he found the line. He found what he wants to do.
Anton Persson is very, very good at moving left and not giving the pocket away. So it's probably going to be fairly tight. But he's a good bowler. And plays a lot of the PBA Sweden events. All of them, I think.
Yeah, and I also believe he went to the World Series this year.
Yes, correct.
You guys have too many bowlers for me to remember them all.
So this year it was 15 Swedish people on the PBA tour.
15.
Very happy. We are after the US, of course, the biggest group.
The biggest group, yeah.
So that's.
And it was a successful season. Jesper did pretty good.
Yeah.
And then
Rasmus
won
title.
one of the titles as well. So cool.
What is Carl doing? 3 on the left.
3 on the left, yeah. Whatever he
That's
did,
it.
he was quite. I didn't see. I wish we could rewind
Uh,
just to
I
see
saw it.
what.
It just I think his break point was at like 20 almost.
Mm.
So
So he missed a lot left then.
yeah, he missed a lot.
Ilhamar had a good game going, but now got a big split.
Yeah, and as you said, Victor is also running on lane 11
Victor beat.
or 13.
Yeah, he got
No,
to
11, 12. Yeah. So I have a couple of very high games coming.
both Victor and Anton, those players, they are like top elite series players.
And for those of you who are from outside Sweden, Elite Serie is the highest division in the national league for bowling in Sweden, and I would say it's one of those competitions that if you haven't seen it online, I would recommend to find some videos on YouTube. It's really a crazy atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
It's fully packed bowling alleys, people screaming like crazy. It almost feels like a hockey game or a
Yeah.
football game.
Yeah.
It's so much passion, and it's a very nice, very nice. If you have the chance to bowl, it's wonderful. But also, if you have the chance to witness it, it's spectacular.
Especially the playoffs. But now this year the elite series will be even tougher because we changed it from 12 to only 10 teams. So all the teams will be very competitive.
So now it's 2 teams less on the highest division.
Yep.
How did you manage to do that? Did you drop more than the usuals to
Yep.
first division?
Yeah.
So not many.
So
Or
this was a very tough year. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say some people must be a little bit upset.
Yeah. But
Like
I
1 year ago we would have stayed on Elite
Mhm.
Serie, but now we're not there anymore.
So there was some changes to the league. Before we played the whole season, and then the top 4 teams would go to play the playoffs.
Hmm.
Now the team 1 and 2 is guaranteed to go there, and team 3, 4, 5, 6 are playing
Kind of a previous playoff
Yeah.
round
to
see
make
who
it
the.
even more
So
exciting.
you make it like a final four after, or
It's going to be the last weekend for league here. All 10 teams will play the last matches in one bowling center during the Saturday, and then this will continue on the Sunday.
so you're gonna have to choose a big center if you want
It's
to.
yeah.
So it's going to be even more crowd on it. It's going to be even more spectacular than it was.
That's going to be massive because when you have the playoffs, it's only 4 teams. So the fans of the 4 teams will be there, but now you will have the fans for 10 teams.
The 10 teams, yeah, exactly.
Okay, tough last shot for Rasmus. He gutted the field shot for a 180, so now he's 38 over, which is still a great score.
And then we had 270. I lost the guy. Where was he?
He's still going
268 for Ante Persson, so he's 67 over.
Yeah, and 268 for Victor Albin also.
But on that pace for Anton, it's going to be impressive because if he's getting 30 pins higher every game, pretty soon he's going to be doing 300, 300, 300.
Yeah. James finally doubled. He has been struggling getting a double on lane 20, but he finally got it in the last frame.
But that's what you expect from a player on this talent. It doesn't really matter. He doesn't find it. He keeps moving, doing small adjustments, taking all his spares, hitting the pocket, and finally by the end of the game, with enough patience, he found his spot. He could make a double. Now he can make it to Turkey and still go away on a tough pattern, on a tough pair of lanes, better said. Still managed to do 220 or nearly 220.
Yeah, that's one thing you see with the guys that are really good in these longer, or in these shorter blocks maybe, that they avoid those, what you call it, blow-up games where They shoot like the 170s, 160s.
And that is also a factor. I mean, when you bowl on a very easy pattern, you don't require that much energy from your mental game. But when the lanes are tougher and you don't have such big room, you need to be paying attention all the time to what goes on. So you get to the end of the day exhausted. The
Yeah.
energy goes away much quicker.
And I have to say too, if you compare us as a group, my group, uh, you become a product of your own environment. And I would say Sweden right now, we are really good on easy lanes, especially when we can use urethane. But we lost a little bit on tricky lanes. Can clearly see that when we go on the PBA. As soon as it's on an easy pattern, we're very competitive. On a difficult one, we have more problems.
But
And last European Championship was low scoring, and we did worse than we usually
than
do.
you usually do.
And I want to add exactly what you said. The problem is that if you're not used to difficult lanes, you get nervous in a very different way. Because if you get nervous on a easy pattern, you don't look like an idiot. But if you get really nervous and bowl bad on a tough pattern,
The
you
bad games
don't,
are really bad games.
yeah,
The
and
low games are really low games.
and the ball is never close to the pocket, and you start losing your self-confidence. You can also see a lot of our young kids, they don't like to shoot spares straight,
No, they
And-
keep hooking it one way or the other.
and then that's fairly easy on an easy pattern.
I agree.
But then you bowl a long hard pattern and you try to hook it on the 10 pin and you send it to it's not gonna.
Yeah, you miss a little bit out because you bowl back up on that 10 pin, but that pattern doesn't give you any room when you miss out. So then you end up missing the 10 pin by half the lane.
Yeah.
And that looks really bad.
And
that's why we, at least on myself, I keep encouraging the young ones, even if they are two-handers, to learn to spare straight.
Yeah.
Use a spare ball. Just go straight. Nothing is easier in bowling than sparing a single pin.
And we are happy because we are playing also in the league or the team event, because it's also very different to become nervous in an individual tournament and nervous when you represent a country or a team. So that's not where you want to be missing all your spares.
No, definitely not. It's not only going to affect you, but it's going to affect the rest of your teammates.
Yeah. All right. Who is in the lead now? It must be pretty tight between Joachim, Anton Ed, and
James also
James.
still up there.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the results to come in here on our screens.
Albin has also 70 over. But with the scoring pace there now, I don't think we're going to see the 1400.
The 14,
yet.
I was going to say, the 1400 looks a little bit further now.
Yeah.
But I only need one guy to shoot the 1400, so I don't look like an idiot that doesn't know what he's saying. And I'm hoping that the lanes open up from now on, since we're now starting fourth game. Transitions should be there.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of the guys find a little bit of extra room and can surprise us with another 700 series on the next 3 games.
I'm already beginning to see some people standing in front of the ball return here.
Yeah, some of them are already lifting the ball as well.
Yeah.
Can also say that it's one more thing that's going to be determined here, except for only Lucky Larsen. It's also the PBA Region Tour, the Swedish one, and Joachim Karlsson is in the lead for the Open Division, and there's also a prize for the seniors. The guys turn 50, where we have Oskar Broström playing now, and he will be joined with Per Svensson and Ian Robinson. And whoever of those players finish first here is going to win the ranking and get to play the PBA regional finals in Reno.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Shall we see Stefan coming down as well? Engström.
I don't know. Maybe we should call him.
We should text him and see.
He probably hasn't decided yet.
Last time,
Decisions is not his strong side.
last time I spoke to him, it was he was asking me because he's flying down to Barcelona with his son.
Mhm.
He wanted to find out if the new cam was ready. I
Mhm.
said, "Oh, you need to come back in 3 years because that's taking forever. They're rebuilding the stadium. It's taking so long. It's gonna get even bigger than it was. Pretty soon, it's gonna hit the walls of the bowling alley. Imagine how big it's becoming." But yeah, the rebuilding is taking forever. It's very slow. I'm not so happy about it. Not only because I'm a Barcelona fan, but because I live on the area, and the traffic that those rebuildings are causing is terrible.
We have the
Stefan
results
Engström
in
was
now
a
as well.
former Team Sweden and also a straight bowler, pretty similar to the guy we were talking before, Linus Anders
Yeah.
Oman. So yeah, we're talking old school, but it's the times we used to bowl better, and so we, the memories are funnier in that time.
So the scores are up now. Joakim Karlsson is holding on to the lead with 79 over. James Blomgren 74. Victor Albin 68. Anton Persson 67. And Robin Norberg, youth player, 51 over. So
Pretty steady squad so far. 221, 215, 215.
yeah,
It's quite good.
Carl Eklund, who is both in the youth and the adults, but he's struggling a little bit today. He also been in Denmark to play in Odense European Tour stop that has the final tomorrow.
Uh huh.
So he will just be bowling with us today, and then he will go back to Denmark to bowl the finals.
He's got a lot of talent. I mean,
Yeah.
but one thing nobody can deny when a kid so young does the way he did. Or I remember he was when I was coaching in Mora. He was living nearby, so he showed up in the Mora bowling alley a few times. And I remember from the very beginning when I got there, he came and asked me, "What do you think about me bowling backup?" So I was like, "Why you ask me? Are you good at it?" He said, "I think I'm good." Then why you ask me? There's someone out there that doesn't really want me to bowl that way. But when you see what this guy can do on both sides, I mean, the talent is there. Maybe now he's hitting that age where you start thinking a little bit about girls and party and go out, and maybe you get a little bit of distraction, but it's part of growing up, it's part of being humane, and you cannot be successful forever. I mean, I don't believe any of us has been successful every single season that we bowled. We had our ups and downs.
Yeah.
I think what's important for him is to realize that these things will pass by and just focus on the future, because I mean the talent, he's got it.
So he's probably going to be one of them to soon at least go and maybe play the World Series or try the tournaments in the States.
Shall we get a little bit into politics or shall we skip them? Because some people has been texting me and asking me, what do you think about these rules now? Some people, some federations, and some zones have forbidden certain type of
Yeah.
balls, and some have decided not to. So that's why I'm asking: shall we get into politics, or we just skip it and say, you know what, it's not our.
I'm
Definitely, I'm not the guy deciding. So I have my own opinion. If anyone wants to know, they can text me private. I will share
yeah,
it happily, but I want to be correct, and I understand both sides. I mean,
yeah,
for me, I can understand those who decide, let's skip this kind of bowling balls, and I understand those who say, we cannot skip those bowling balls because of whatever the
yeah.
reasons. I mean, nothing is black and white in this life, and as you're alive or dead, everything else is in grace.
Yeah, for me, it's I get a lot of questions about that too, but I got very good advice from my old boss of Pergamon. He said that I don't think you should focus so much on the cards you are being dealt. You should focus on how you should play them.
That's
And
very wise.
it's very good
Yeah.
because, and it's actually tricky for me because with different rules, like on this tournament and on the championships. It makes it a little bit less valuable to see to compare to what would have happened in the championship. But we will see.
The only thing I would say to those who are listening and watching is like, why get into fights? I mean, just you may have one opinion, and the person in front of you may have a different opinion. But I've seen, especially on internet, people is using aliases, and so they can talk a lot of crap. And I've seen some people trying to be very polite. There was a very long post on Facebook by Jason, for example. He was giving his opinion. And some people was telling like, he's just saying that because he has to be politically correct. And it's like, why? Why should it be like that? Maybe that's his honest opinion, and that's the way he thinks things should be done. And as we said before, everything has its ups and downs.
Yeah. Refer to Victor's projection that it hooks a little bit more on 20. We can see Joachim Karlsson going very light on 19 all the time now and getting to the pocket on 20. So I think you looks like you're correct on that one.
Yeah, maybe I am. I haven't seen his other shots though. So.
There's been good shots on the right lane, and then this is it was a very light strike and then a 2-pin and then a 2-8. Some strikes again. Maybe it is opening up. I think there's more strikes in a row.
Transition is coming. Come on, come to me. Come to my 1400 already.
You need the right people to do it. Anton Persson is doing very well again.
He's my horse at the moment.
Oh, Joachim
keeps improving those 30 pins per game. He's gonna be the one.
You were talking about the PB in Sweden points a bit before, but I put them on the screen for us here, and as we said, Joachim is leading the general qualification, and then we have Anton Andersson from Göta in second, tied with Dan Harding at 70 points. That's 12, but this event counts, I think, 1.5 times the points.
And a lot of Göta there.
Yeah, a lot. And then Arnar Jonsson, who is in fourth, is already qualified for the finals here because he won the event in Eskilstuna. And that's going to be the same with Pontus Andersson and Carl Wolgen. But it's worth remembering that these points are still given out to the American players, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone with a PBA, I would guess.
Yeah.
So it means that if too many Americans or foreigners do well, Joachim is going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's going to be very hard to get around him unless
get those pins from him, or those points from him. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we haven't spoken anything about the girls. In my mind, I mean, it's not that they are less talented or they have less. On the contrary, they usually are a lot more accurate than we are. They are a lot more stable in the mind when they're bowling than we are. But the fact that this pattern is going to be bowled so deep inside, it may become a little bit tricky for them, especially to get the angle at the end of the lane, to get enough carry on the pins.
Yeah.
It's going to force them, since the line is so deep inside and they don't have such a high rep rate, it could force them to use a kind of material that gives the angle, but then when you use that kind of material that's going to give them the angle, it's going to be a little bit more sensitive during the run on the lane.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say in simple words is that the girls, I think they're going to have a little bit more issues on this kind of deeper lines to achieve that such high scoring.
Yeah, but there are 2 spots straight to the finals for the 2 best women that don't make the cut as well.
So I was going to say, they don't have to beat the other guys. They just have to beat the other girls.
Beat themselves, yeah.
But on the other hand, they are also bowling without handicap, which is not so usual here. Normally, girls get 8 pins per game. But since it is a PBA event, there is no handicap.
Has it happened already that some girl has won a PBA men's?
We're gonna have to ask tech support, Victor. Kelly Kulik
Yes.
has won.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and Les Johnson, I believe, has also won a
Mhm.
title. And I think Kelly Kulik actually won Tournament of Champions as well, so a major.
That's nice.
I might be wrong there, though.
You can see I was a little bit away of the game for a few years. Music life, you know.
Mhm. But so see on 18 Norberg. Yeah, it's doing well. 4 in a row. Can also see Marcus Jansson doing pretty well now. A lot of people can get into that 60 to 80 over area.
Yeah, and I just jinx Anton Persson, just without opening my mouth. But I have been seeing his score all the time, but I haven't really seen him shooting because we have many screens in front of us. We have many bowlers to watch. It's the first shot I really look at him, and he got the baby split. So I think if I wanted to make the 1400, I better not watch him any longer.
Yeah, it's even worse than the baby split. It's one behind.
Oh,
Too.
it's the one behind. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
So it's twin.
Carl is. Oof.
Ooh, solid 7. Not so happy.
Yeah, I think maybe he's on the point where. Is there a turbo?
Yes, there's a turbo in games 5 and 6, so the highest scoring player in that particular game that doesn't make the cut also goes
Yeah.
to the final.
So right now we're only game 4, so no turbo yet. But
The next two games are accountable for that. Pontus is also going for a high
Pontus
game now.
Falcon 279. Yeah, yeah, and he was a plus before. Also a player that likes to go a little bit deeper.
So he's gonna be happy as soon as the lane keeps going deeper and deeper for him.
Yeah. And this is the home center for Göta, which you saw a lot of players on the PBA
On the
Sweden
ranking,
list.
yes.
They've also become a little bit stronger this year, where Joakim Karlsson, who's in the lead, is going to start playing there too.
Uh-huh.
So they're going to be dangerous.
And they also bring Andrew Anderson from time to time to join the team.
Yeah. So how's James doing? Where is he now?
I lost him. Oh, here. They are on 3 and 4 with Roman.
Mm.
Not the highest game for any of them too. But that also is tricky. They come from one corner of the alley and they went all to the other side of the bowling alley. And that usually happens as well. It's always some difference between sites in the bowling centers. What we said before, probably the climate, it could be the air condition, it could be the topography. But usually we see this kind of difference in every bowling alley we go in the world. It's always a little bit different from the left side of the bowling alley to the right side of the bowling alley.
I think from 1 to 20 in this center, it's even more noticeable because of the, as we've talked about at the World Cup as well, actually, with the lane memory.
And the lane, first 6 lanes are a little bit more like
because
parties. And
exactly, there are a lot of birthday parties there, so balls flying all over the place. So that may affect those lanes a bit more. Yeah, it's always hard to change signs, as you say.
Marcus Jansson going for.
Yeah, it's looking stronger now, bowling deep, but very, very, very strong performance at the moment.
Yeah. Very, very solid player.
It's mesmerizing. I mean, every time I come up here, even when I was a kid and I came up here, my eyes got exhausted by the end of the day because it's like wherever you look, you can see some talented bowler and you like the way they do and you want to learn from whatever they do. It's an experience that, especially to those countries nearby, the other European countries that you don't have as many talent as Scandinavia. I would tell you all, you need to start coming to these events because the amount of good bowlers that you can see, it's going to help you understand the game better, and it's going to motivate you to learn to do different things and learn to do things in different ways. And it's also a place where you get treated like when you're home. I mean, every time I came up here, even when I was a little kid, I felt loved. I felt taken care of. I mean, Sweden is a very, very warm country. All the cold weather you have, you compensate with being warm
Yeah.
inside.
That's why we try to stay in the south of Sweden, where it's not the
Not
coldest.
that cold, yeah.
We have
Stay
another
away from
question as
penguins.
well.
Hmm?
We have a question, yes.
Yes, from Big Funky Swede. What do you think the difference in scores would be if the players were allowed to use the infamous purple hammer?
Well, if I'm honest, I think the purple hammer wouldn't be such a big help in this kind of pattern, since the line is a little bit deeper. Of course, if they have a lot of rev, they would manage to make it work. But then on the other hand, it's a ball that, as we all know, it's going to push the oil a little bit down, and I'm gonna say if it was a pattern that you could have a lot of friction on the outside, I wouldn't mind that the purple hammer was there, because then I would use it as a hold on my left side or inside line. But when there is no friction on the corners, if you put on some urethane that has no track flare and it starts pushing the oil down, in my head, the only thing that's going to happen is going to make the lane tougher and tougher and tougher. So as soon as we hit the transition on games 4, 5, 6, instead of finding the lane has opened up from the beginning, it's actually getting tighter. At least that's how I see it. I don't know what you guys think about it.
It's it's a hard question. We made a tournament called Captain's Invitationals, where we played the same pattern 2 times. One time where they were allowed to use it, and one where they were not.
Hmm.
And it was quite a bit different. But I agree with you. It's probably the guys with a lot of rev rate, they could make it work here. But most of the guys have high rev rate. It should be that you wouldn't get too much good angles with a purple here, but I've seen that ball strike quite a lot without those angles.
Yeah, it has something on it that it manages to get deep in the pocket no matter what. It has a lot of continuation when it hits the pocket. But what I'm more doubtful is what kind of traffic it would generate, because it doesn't take many. Let me call it that way. It doesn't take that many non-skilled bowlers to, in a way, make the lanes tough.
Oh.
I was talking a little bit slow because in my brain only bad words were coming out to express, like, and I'm trying not to say any swearing or stuff like that. But what I mean is, if we could use the purple hammer in this kind of event, I am strongly believing that the first 3 games would be higher than they are now. The score would be a little bit higher overall, not the top bowlers, but overall in general. But by the end of the squad, we wouldn't see such high games as we may see on the following days and the following squads when people is using the resin that's going to open up the lane.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to say, really, what it would be like, because it varies a lot from center to center and pattern to pattern, how that particular ball works. But I think overall the scores would be lower if it was allowed. But that's just my guess.
I think so. I think it would be a little bit lower, because as soon as you push the oil down, you have a little bit more over under reaction, and especially when the lane opens up and the lane dries up and you want to just go deeper and try to use the area. Maybe you're swinging it into a breakpoint that is not the wrong breakpoint, but because it has been some traffic that has pushed the oil down, all of a sudden it's going to also feel like a penalty zone, even when you're bowling on the right spot. And that's the reason why I believe if the purple hammer was allowed in this event, it would make the lanes a little bit tougher by the end of the day.
We can see some high games now actually. We see both Anton Persson and Victor Albin continuing bowling well. Marcus Jansson, Martin Larsen, 240 to get to plus 20. Also see Lucas Fjällborg can bowl 290. He was struggling a little bit before, so
It's more people over par on this squad, that's for sure. We can see Team Sweden is out there doing their job.
Yeah. We don't see anyone being 100 over yet. Right?
Only one. Anton is 100 over.
He's 100 over.
100 over. So we need him to. I need him to shoot 500 on the next two.
It's
so,
a tall
so I
order.
get that 1400.
He is good, but I'm sure Anton would be happy with 462.
Yeah,
Also.
for sure.
Also, I think Robin Nordberg he's getting close to 80 over now.
And Victor Albin also is 894 at the moment, so he's pretty close to 100 over.
And we can also see Hakim from Malaysia with his very bad start. He can get to almost 80 over. I said when the lanes goes inside, he
shines instantly.
So he is probably did not do what I said when he started 150 to just give up and try things.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just thinking of trying to make the final.
And we have a guy on his way for a 290, Lucas over there.
Lucas, yeah. He had a little bit rough first 3 games. 100 under, but he can get back to almost even.
Almost the par at the moment, yeah.
Oof, probably big split.
I've seen Rowan on the previous squad. It seemed to me like he's pretty good at speed control, actually, for a two-hander.
Yeah.
I mean, he manages to slow down when needed, and that's not something that you see anymore that often. People changing their speed on their shot. They are more into hook it or unhook it or go back up. On our times, it was very. I mean, I think it was one of my most useful tools to be able to change the speed whenever I needed to do something different.
For sure, he's a pretty strong guy, so he tends to sometimes muscle it a little bit. Usually, we miss it. We had a very funny trip with some of these youth players. We went to Peru to play a tournament against those guys, and they put a super difficult Seoul pattern out. And I think out of the 20 weird things I've seen, 15 is from that trip. One of the guys, he left the 10 pin and he threw it in the left gutter when he was supposed to spare because he was trying to back up, but it didn't hook on the outside. And on another shot, he got stuck in the approach and he managed to get only 479 on the first shot. That I've never seen before.
479. I have to think about it. 479.
Yeah.
So the 4 passed through the 5 and the 8 and just took the wow.
And the ball avoided the 4. No, sorry.
The 8.
Yeah.
So it was basically almost taking only the 7 pin, but he got 2 more. And in the single event, Nordberg won. An amazing match. 128 against 132. But he won.
Not so good for the business when you try to make the game look spectacular.
No, that was not good. But we had a lot of good conversations about spare shooting straight after.
I can understand why.
I told him that you can do whatever you want to. If you come and show me any of the 10 best bowlers on the PBA tour, not bowling straight, then I will let you also do it. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm curious, what was the average during that tournament overall?
Uh, or from our side, it was one Swedish team and it was 5 Peru teams. We were the best, and they averaged between the lowest average for 18 games was 173, and the highest one had 181. Yeah. It was one of these, okay guys, let's go into a group. Okay, focus, you have to stay strong, stay focused, just try to make the frames, and they could do it for a little while, and then everything just went wrong, and then we had to take a new, because it's mentally it was
Exhausting. It has to be exhausting.
it was if you think that the pocket was one magnet and the ball was another magnet, but when they can't touch
They
each
were
other,
on the wrong side.
yeah,
It was on the wrong side.
that's a little bit hard.
Avoiding.
But obviously it was no one's fault because we actually won everything, so it was even more tricky for the other guys.
Yeah, that says something when the best team is averaging in the 170s.
Yeah. But I also asked them, so what do you guys think would happen if you bowl the adult guys over 30 on this? Oh, they will run us over. Yes.
Absolutely.
But I think it was a very, very valuable lesson. We did get away with winning the whole thing, but also with a lot of things to improve.
Kind of a wake up call
Mm-hmm.
for some of the kids, I guess.
So we got the scores now. We have Robin Persson, Anton Persson on 100 over. So he's very, very good at keeping it straight line to the pocket, and he's one of those players where you have those players that oh, he's doing good, then I know exactly what you can do. Then if I see him, I certainly think that he's playing inside of the fourth arrow, probably close to fifth, and then he doesn't hook it, he just goes straight. And I have the same with Anton Ahlgren. If you know that he's doing well, you know that it's going to be very good to move left and slow down a lot, because he's very good at that. So some of these bowlers can, and then you have other bowlers, they do well and you go, I don't know, he
A little
different
bit, as I said before, with Philip. Every time I've seen Philip doing very good, he was bowling so deep inside, beyond the fifth arrow, beyond 25.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen him bowl his best.
We come from the same place, so a few years ago we used to take a lot of matches against each other. So we had the first match and he beat me pretty badly, and then the next match I just put the match on lane 1 where we have a wall, so he can't. And I beat him completely, and then after that every time he beats me I just move the next match to 1 and 2.
Go left now if you can. Yeah.
He started out leaving a 4-pin, and he managed to kick the wall when he spared the 4-pin. And then you're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Okay, now we are starting the fifth game. So transition is already here, no doubt about that. Now the main issue is how good is the transition on the lane that I'm bowling at the moment. Because the traffic has been different. We have seen some people staying a little bit further and some people moving in a little bit sooner. So depending on where you're coming from, all of a sudden you believe, okay, the line was here, but maybe it has been used so deep inside right before you hit that pair that you find it so dry in the heads. And if you're not quick enough to make the decisions, then you're going to lose 2 or 3 frames that are going to be crucial.
I think that right now I would say Hakim is
the guy to watch.
Yeah, because this plays very well in the type of shot he has, and he's an extremely experienced national team player from Malaysia, and those guys,
They have a lot of talent as well. They have been
yeah,
shining up for many years already.
they have very good programs for training, and they also they know how to practice because they practice a lot, and they also know how to bowl when you're really nervous, because you are when you're representing your country, and it's so much media attention there. So I think he will do well. It's going to be a little bit interesting. We can see now Pontus Falkel and Ant Persson on the same pair, 17-18. Both are bowling very deep, but a little bit different solutions, where Anton is going a little bit straighter at it, and Pontus is using a few more boards.
Anton reminds me, the way he's bowling the lane, it reminds me a little bit, I would say late 90s, when it was very popular on the Danish Master to bowl that reverse block kind of pattern, that it forces you to start pretty deep inside.
Yeah,
I remember actually when Bakke won the Danish Masters, it was so deep inside, like sixth arrow, but he wasn't swinging the ball far because obviously it was a reverse block, so you couldn't send the ball that far to the right. So it was pretty straight into the pocket.
Yeah, it was actually a little bit before my time. So, but we played on that kind of patterns later on too.
That is also, is it gonna be a factor for the lefties when so many right-handers start going deep? It's gonna end up affecting the heads for the lefties as well. Unless they also go so deep inside that they cross lines between them.
There's also a subject that could get very. We had Ted Thompson here from Kaggle talking to us, and he says that righties can't affect the lefties so much because of the angles. Because when the right-hander goes a lot left, obviously he will need to throw the ball to the right.
To the right.
And when the lefties go and throws it the other direction, it's a fairly short amount of time that.
Yeah, we could say maybe the first 5 feet.
Yeah,
7 feet if you want.
Certainly, I know lefties who claim that it affects a lot. So.
Yeah, I was telling because I remember when we had the Thomas Leandersson Christmas event in Mora. Mora was a bowling alley that back in the day it was very tough on the corners, both sides. It was kind of a negative fault on the outside for both sides. And the pattern we chose to use with the help of the Kegel, it was kind of similar to this one. It was a deep inside line. You couldn't really miss out. It was not much room on the outside. And it was one of the complaints I had when I was there, because I was coaching on that bowling alley, and I was kind of responsible a little bit of what was going on. And I'm not going to say any names because there's no need for that, but there was a couple of very talented lefties from Sweden, Team Sweden, and they were a little bit upset, like telling me like, I'm not going to bowl here anymore because it's impossible for a lefty. There's no room, and then you put a pattern that all the right-handers are getting into my area, so I cannot move deep because it's all of you bowling in my spot, and I cannot go any further out because of the topography. And they were quite upset. So that's why I remember now. And I asked, do you think it's gonna affect them the same way as they believed it was affecting them? And then it's who should we believe? Ted Thompson, who is working for that and is a specialist on this, or real talented bowlers that I also believe they know what they're talking about, and they are the ones throwing the ball, so they really feel what's happening. So if they really tell me I cannot really go any deeper because the right-handed traffic doesn't allow me, maybe a small part of it can be mental, but I believe it's true. It's happening for them. So as we said before, maybe it's going to be a little bit tough for the right-handers, for the women, sorry, because they cannot have such an easy way of moving deep inside unless they are Daria or Daria style. But that also makes me think about the lefties. What's going to happen if we get a lot of traffic and people starts moving in? Is it going to let them enough room to bowl on? Are they going to jump into the right sides because we are staying away from the outside as well?
Yeah. I mean, I think the lefties that can control their break point a bit and have the break point a little bit more inside than they usually have, they're probably going to be okay here. I think so.
Yeah, because then they can start making shots so far right that the traffic wouldn't affect them either.
And I think players like Jesper and James and those guys, it's just sometimes I have a feeling that left-handers want to have the break point a little bit further out because they used to see that shape. Even though they either go more left or they want to hook it a little bit more. But we will see. We will see.
Okay, back to scoring. Let's see who's doing okay. We have Robin with a spare and Turkey on lane 12. Robin Norbert.
He's up there. He's fifth in the squad with 70 over.
70 over. So
Anton Persson has made marks all the way. And where do we have Victor?
Right here.
Yes, you are. The other Victor, the albino.
He is on 4.
Oh, 3 and 4, yeah. 3 and 4. He's got a split between strikes.
Joakim Karlsson, yeah.
Where's Hakim playing now?
He's on 5 and 6 and just baby split. But he has a double before that and he made a spare.
He managed to spare, so yeah, still up there.
It looks like, you know, when you're talking about the 4 extra spot, the early bird spots. There's not so many numbers between 1290 and 1350. It's only one score. So obviously it looks like it's going to be a bunch in between there now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is a bad scoring pace for everyone who had 12.
Who had already, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It looks like even the early birds are going to fly up a little bit higher to 1320, 1330. So that's going to push it up to 1350 for the regular cut as I was predicting a little bit sooner. So I'm going to get one right and the other one wrong. It's no 1400 on this squad. It doesn't look like it's going to happen.
And also remember now that this is a turbo game, or
exactly.
Yeah, 5th and 6th. That's true.
So do we have any scores for that? What they need to shoot to have a chance? Obviously, it's going to be a lot of squads, so it usually ends up
very high.
At least 279.
279, 280, perhaps.
Let's see here. In game 5, it is currently in game 5 236, but not including the.
It's most likely it's William Berggren's 258 because he's not gonna make the final in that.
Exactly. But the highest game 5 so far is William Svensson at 264.5.
Yeah.
And he has a good chance of qualifying normally. So.
Yeah. And let me just check.
On the 6th game, we're going to find out pretty soon as well.
267
267 for Hampus Kelsen. Yeah.
And then it's a big jump down to 240 behind that.
Yeah, but it's many squats to go, so probably the turbo is going to fly up as well. It's going to go all the way up to 270 something.
Last year it was 300 in the 5th game. I think Nathan Bohr shot 300 in the second to last squad to make the cut.
And there's one more tournament going on. I'm going to try to explain it, but it's kind of tricky if you don't see it in front of you. The Lucky Game by Storm, where you can win a sponsorship by Storm for quite a lot of things. And the way it works is that you're supposed to make a high game in different frames from each game. So in the first game, it was frame 1 and 6 next game number 2, and so on. So it looks a little bit like a bingo cheat.
Yeah.
And then you just add up those 10 random frames and you get a score. This one is very hard to keep track of.
Yes, I don't know if we have a number to beat right now.
Last year, the first prize was a watch, and
Yeah.
even though it was high scoring, it was very surprisingly tied with 300.
Yeah, 2 people, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but that's very unlikely because some of these frames are frame 1, so
Yeah.
you have to strike when you move to the other side of the center, the first shot to
Yes.
bowl 300.
And the last frame is also the last frame in this
Yeah.
final game.
Yeah. So that is the only frame where you can really, like, you could go around and check.
And then you have 2 free frames, 7 and 8.
Yeah.
You can choose the best of any of the 6 games.
No, this is just the frames.
Yeah, it was too far. Yeah, but frame 7, for example, see, it's not marked.
Yeah.
Frame 8, it's not marked, so I guess you just choose the best.
No.
No.
No?
So this is frame 1.
Yeah. Okay. Now I understand what you mean. Yeah. I see the numbers now.
Yeah,
I thought
so
you were
Yeah.
bowling the whole
Yeah.
game, and okay, I need to get the strike on frame
Mhm.
1. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I have a second.
Okay.
Okay. Now I see it because we had the format down there.
Mhm.
They called it triplex. So you bowl 3 games,
Yeah.
and you
And
basically
best.
choose the best frame from any of the
Yeah.
3 games.
But this is fun, but it's kind of hard to know if someone is doing well.
yeah, it's a lot easier to explain if you see it in front
Yeah.
of you. So if you go onto the Lucky Larsen social media pages, there's
Yeah,
an
that's the
image
easiest
posted
for you.
there. And included in that prize is 9 storm bowling balls, as well as 3 tournament 3-ball bags, and a merch package from Storm as well.
Very nice.
And that is only for 150 Swedish crowns. That's like 13 euros.
Yeah,
Yeah.
per
to-
squad you
to
bowl.
play that. So
And you don't have to bowl 300. You just have to bowl the highest of everyone.
Exactly.
Okay, we have a good game going for Robert Lindberg
Where is
on
he?
9 and 10.
Yes.
Possible 269. It also puts him in the run for. He can get to almost 100 over.
Yeah.
Carl Eklund can go to 269. Okay, who else is doing well now? That's
we have William Berggren
Norberg.
also with a 4-bagger. Yeah, it's not as high as I expected it was going to be for a 5th game.
no.
Maybe what. Also, on the other hand, it's a lot of bowlers in this squad that it's their first attempt.
Yeah.
So as we said, since the lane condition is not so easy, I would bet some of them are a little bit brainly exhausted because they have been having to think over and over frame after frame, and every time they change lanes, it's not as one of those patterns that I just drop it out there, the ball's gonna do everything for you. You just really need to be precise, you need to be accurate, and you need to keep your concentration for many hours or for many frames. And that probably is also causing a little bit of stress, emotional stress, a little bit of less energy in the body, and that could also explain why some of the scores are a little bit lower.
And with the re-entry style format as well, means that if you maybe have 2 more, 3 more squads coming up, and you're out of contention list, when you might try some things that you can learn from in the upcoming squads as well.
I agree. It makes also all the sense in the world. So we're probably going to have a couple of 1320s, 1340s by the end of the day.
Yeah, this is by far the highest scoring squad overall so far, I think.
We still have
William Svensson is having a fairly rough day on the lanes today. This is so weird with bowling. How you can, like, if you try to explain that to some other person from a sport. So he's leading the tournament, but now he's gonna be
Struggling,
like 100
below par, yeah.
way
Below par.
But still leading the tournament.
but still leading the tournament.
I think probably we could compare a little bit with golf, but with the only difference that the hole would remain on the
Yeah.
same spot of the green
Mm.
during the 4 days of or the 4 rounds of the competition. But yeah, as we said in bowling, traffic it's a big factor. It really can do the lanes very different from one day to the other, even from one squad to the next one.
7 pin on Bergen. So Carl Eklund, he can go for 269. Then he would be first in the turbo
Yes.
for the 50.
Because as we said, it's currently 265.
Oi.
I'd expect that to go way higher than it is right now.
Martin Larsen could have got.
You got a split on the 11th.
Joachim Karlsson is struggling with early friction.
Going back to the turbo, by the way, if in the case that there is actually a tie on that, I believe it is the highest overall qualifying score that counts.
Okay.
For who moves on.
That's why we got Victor here, because he's the guy who knows everything. We just talk and talk and talk, but Victor is the one putting the points under the...
Yeah, and it's also different ways to qualify, like the normal block, but there's also other gateways
Exactly.
for young and for women, and then turbo. So you have to know which order you qualify into.
Early birds also. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's many different ways to get into the final.
But the one that you really want to get into, if you want to give yourself a good chance in the final, is the top 22, because they move straight to the
second step on the final.
And that's 6 less games and a lot less pressure. Then, as we were talking about before, there are 4 early birds spots, and then there are 2 spots for 50 plus, 2 spots for U21, 2 spots for the female, and then the turbo game 5 and 6.
Carl got the first one.
Yeah, it looks like he's feeling a little bit more comfortable on this pair.
Yeah. Marcus Jansson, 247.
107 over.
Yeah.
Oof, that could be.
Yeah, expensive 7-pin, definitely.
It's gonna be right on par, I think. Does it say 60 or 80?
80.
Yeah.
But 258 if he spares it, so he's gonna be tied right now with Lilian Berggren, 258.
Yeah. Because
I don't think that's a score that's gonna hold up.
No. Yeah,
There's too many games being bowled.
Yeah, I think William Svensson's current score is going to take him to the final, so we can probably count him out of that turbo.
What I mean.
Yeah.
So then it would be, but I think that someone is going to make a higher game at some point. And we have Joachim Karlsson 60 over, Victor Albin 77 over.
Martin Larsen has managed to go back 54 over, so started struggling.
That's good.
But then when you see a bowler that is world class, even on a very bad day, still managed to be not on par but above par.
Yeah, we're gonna have Anton Persson close to 100 over also, 96 over if he strikes in the field. And it's a good score, but you're certainly gonna have to do something in the last frame.
Yeah, you need a good high game, because you guys predicted around 1330 something. I said 1350 at least. So that already tells that everybody in this squad at the moment needs at least a 250 something game.
But I'm guessed 130. Everyone else guessed 150. And I'm thinking that if the whole squad is going on and nobody bowls 130, I might be closer to the truth.
Mm, I
But
agree. I
who
agree.
knows?
I don't think I actually said my prediction
No,
before,
no.
but yeah, I'm gonna actually go in between you guys and say 140.
But that was very.
That's the smart guy.
Yeah.
Wait a little bit longer to say his prediction.
I
Who's
forgot
gonna
to
see
say that
here?
before.
Also, James Blomgren can get to 106 over.
Okay.
Both James and Marcus has a lot of those. They just show up early and then they qualify right away, and then you sort of forget about them until Sunday comes and they come back and bowl.
Ooh, nice.
Pretty expensive. Nah, not so bad. 5-3 in the middle.
Well, it's an expensive frame. If you
Mm.
stop to count it,
Ah.
it's from going to 279 to staying on 244. So that's 34 pins gone in one frame.
But it would have been even worse if it was working on a double to 5-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Pretty good bowlers out there, and you're gonna lead with 107 for 5.
Yeah,
Just a 20 average.
it is a tough pattern.
221. But also, those guys who are a little bit higher now, they are more or less all of them shot a higher game on the fifth.
Yeah.
So maybe the sixth one is going to be even higher because of that transition and the lane had opened up a little bit. And if that is the case and they do another 250 to 60 game, then we have 2 or 3 guys with 1350, 1360.
What did Hakim end up with?
I didn't really see.
We're gonna have to wait until the scores come in with that, I think.
Too many bowlers around and you end up losing some action at some point. For those of you watching, remember that we have different streaming channels on the YouTube, right? So you can choose from different
Exactly.
cameras and different pairs of lanes. So you can follow your favorite bowler if you have a bowler that you want to keep on watching, and suddenly disappears from the screen you are looking at. There are other
Yeah,
screens on the YouTube channel that you can see. From.
exactly.
All of them are under Storm Lucky Larsens 2025, I believe.
Yeah, on the Storm Like Larsen Masters YouTube channel, you'll find them all. And yeah, I think it's five separate channels you can have.
Nice.
Very, very tough game for Robin Ilhammar. He can punch out to get to 150, but that's
Yeah, and 1, 2, 3 single pins gone on that game. That's a lot of pins in one game. But probably mentally just giving up on that squad. Okay, this is not going to be my squad, so I don't know. Why should I waste any more energy, even on sparing? Maybe even use some of those spare shots to try something on the lanes. We haven't really seen because it's too many bowlers at the same time. But that could be the case because otherwise it sounds pretty weird.
It's a little bit weird. You don't see that a lot.
3 single ones in one same game. Entering the last game of the squad, and we're gonna see. Oh, Hacking was there.
Yeah, so he was
78 over. So that means
open.
he shot just 202 on the fifth frame, and he started now with an open. He's also bowling with Pontus with 79 over on lane 1 and 2. So it's another guy we want to follow and see what goes on. Then we'll have Marcus Johnson on 15 and 16. Is with 107 over. We got Victor Albin on 1920 with 77 over. And James with 1106 is going to move to... Where's James going now? He's been moving right. They should go to 1112, I think. I think James and Robin are moving to 11 and 12. I have to wait 1 more minute until the lanes turn on.
And a lot of opens on Hakim, Anton Persson.
Yeah, the 1400 is gone. What happened there? 3-4.
Joachim is not getting the ball through the
heads.
Through the
It seems to be
right
reading pretty
area.
soon on it, yeah.
Robert Lindberg bowling for Team Pergamon. First season.
First season for him.
Yes, first. I don't know if he was bowling in the Pergamon shirt in Badger tournament in Stockholm.
I do not know that.
No, I don't know if he did or not.
What team was he bowling before?
I don't even remember where he bowled before. So he's gonna make a.
It must be very expensive to gain a spot in Pergamon at the moment. It's a lot of bowlers there.
It's a lot of
good
bowlers. Yeah, but there's a little bit of a generation shift going on there too with Oscar, Martin, and myself. Before we're not bowling so much anymore, so there has to be new guys.
So you're making room for the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But making room, I don't think anyone will make any room for them. They're just gonna have to make it themselves.
They have to find a way to get the room there. Yeah. Squeeze in between them.
William Svensson, he has 850.
Ouch. We're still just waiting for the final results to come in after 5 games.
We believe still that.
Oh, there they go.
Yes, Marcus 106 in games.
Yeah.
Newberry is holding on pretty good because he also has a gateway in the youth section, right?
He should, yeah.
So
And it's a pretty steady squad for him. I mean, his highest game is 221.
Yeah, it was
very, very consistent. Has managed not to struggle too much on any game I see.
So unfortunately, I think that it's more common with some open frames in the people with a good score than it is with a lot of strikes right now. Victor Albin, 2 opens.
Looking for Marcus.
Marcus
here.
started double on.
Where is he?
He's on 15. He bowled on 15.
Yeah.
It was a very good shot. You could see on his body language that he probably thought it was going to be a 3-bagger. we can see a run from Martin. He can still get, but he needs a lot of strikes. He's 50 over before the last game.
Still can go for the turbo as well if he gets strike out to 90. I would put him on the turbo for sure.
Yeah, we have a few guys starting with quite a few strikes, but they're not really up there before this game. But we have Theo Steen starting with 9 spare and then 4 in a row. And
Ocean also.
Yeah. 4 in a row and then a 9.
Ocean is the brother of Carl.
He's
Step brother or something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
correct.
It's the lefty, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, now I see him. He was so small when I was in Mura.
Yeah.
He's grown up so quickly.
Yeah. He
had an amazing release back then when he was like very little.
But he's doing well. He's doing well. He's been doing great in some tournaments, and he was picked in our junior team. But we did not play the European Youth Championship this time. We went to play a friendly competition against Malaysia and play Malaysian Open. We've had some cooperations between Sweden and Singapore and Sweden and Malaysia. Where we exchange ideas, both as from a coaching perspective, but also from some scientific research. And also we're trying to teach the kids how important it is to make friends and connections with other people where you're in a young age in bowling, because it's such a small industry that you're gonna run into these people
all your career, your career.
And all of a sudden, the guy you bowled in the youth, he's now
he became the coach, and you're the coach
or
somewhere
he's
else. Or running a tournament manager, or stuff like that.
He's a ball rep. It could be anything. So just fight hard on the lanes and keep friendly
friendship off the lanes.
Yeah. And it was a very, very successful trip. I have a picture in my phone. I watch it sometimes when I want to feel some joy. They're all very happy and screaming. So that was a nice.
It's one of the areas that is not so common that we see this kind of friendly matches between national teams, but it's super useful. Because I remember when you guys came down to Spain a few times and did some friendly matches against the Spanish Federation or the Catalan Federation, either of the way, it was the times that the Spanish team was most successful. And I believe it's not a matter of talent. We were more talented than now, or now they are less talented. It's not about that. It's that we had this mindset. It was different. When you faced, for us, it was either Finland or Sweden was by far the best bowlers in Europe and the highest talented national teams. So for us, the fact that we could have a little bit of a friendship and a little bit of seeing how you guys did the things, it helped us change a little bit our perspective. It helped us change the way we confronted the competitions, and it was the most successful era in our times. We had medals in European Championships 2 years in a row in the 5-man competition. So that means it's not just that you had one talented bowler that he was so good. Like, for example, back then when Torje was bowling so good and he could win any medals for Norway, when he was pretty much the only really super talented bowler or really super successful. Before him, it was what was his name? Storm.
Arne Sveinström.
Yeah, but in Spain it was not the case. It was not that we had one super talented guy. It was like the whole group learned to have such a connection and chemistry on the lanes, and we became a team. We had some bonding, and I believe most of it came from these experiences that we had among Team Sweden. Either you guys coming down or we coming up, like we did for the European Championships in Malmö. We came 1 week earlier and we spent a week doing friendly things with you guys over there.
Yeah, I think it's important, and there's many other things too, that if you want to be a successful bowler, that you have to learn off the lanes. One thing is just traveling, how it works. We we emphasize 3 circles. One is only bowling related. The next one is taking responsibility for your own progress, and the last one, to be able to be in a group. And like if you go on the PBA, it's very much taking individual responsibility for everything. No
Yes.
one is going to help you. You fix your own cars. You figure out how to join USBC so you can play this tournament. It's all on you. But when we go in, and that you want people to be able to do that, but you have to be able to also be flexible, so you don't become. This is always how I do things. I don't care what the group wants. I'm gonna go to the bowling center 1.5 hours before. Yes, but we all want to go 1 hour before. So you have to.
You need to adapt a little bit. You need to be a little bit more flexible with your routines and stick into the team's life in a way.
Yeah, this is also like the trip I told you about when we went to Peru. So the kids think that we are going, and I'm gonna watch them bowl and see how they perform, but
It's a lot more for you than just how they perform on the lanes.
You just being here and bowl, it's enough. It's the same for when we send 15 people to World Series. And so, what is the goal with the project? Well, it's already met. We're 15 people here bowling. Either you're gonna do really good and it's gonna be a great experience, or you're gonna do bad and we know exactly what we need to do when we come home. And that is, I'm only looking for making better national team bowlers. I don't really care if I make good PBA bowlers.
I understand.
Of course, if I could pick, I want everyone to do really well, but I'm just more there for the progress than the results.
The momentaneous.
Yeah, exactly. It's but all right. Martin Larsen still going strong. 5 strikes. Marcus was struggling a little bit, I think. Yes, with an open. So where do we have James?
I lost him.
James
over there,
open
11, 12.
Right now, we don't have anyone 100 over.
Nope.
And not really anybody on a huge pace for a good turbo game.
That's Martin.
Oh yeah, Martin is on 20 there.
It would be typical. We've been trash talking 19 and 20 the whole block.
Yes.
And that's where he's going to get a 290.
I was also trash talking 19 and 20, and that's where my block yesterday turned around and I shot 250 after 150 in game 1 and 2. So maybe it isn't that bad after all.
It's a little bit interesting too. You can could be all kinds of reasons why the scoring pace isn't so high, but it is also a little bit dangerous indication that the more good bowlers that joins the squad and the score is not going up, they are probably not affecting the lane that good.
No, that's true.
And that's
yeah, that would probably change the cut a little bit lower, and it's gonna put it closer to what you said. Even lower if it keeps going that way. That's too bad the crease isn't here. We could blame it on him if he was sitting down here by now.
So let's see. He can get. James can still get to 1350, but now it's quite a lot of frames that needs to be.
And it's almost a strikeout. Actually, if he strikes out, he does exactly 1350. And Marcus is on, what was Marcus out down here? 35, so he could go all the way to 225. So Marcus would have a top score of 1332 if striking out.
Wouldn't it be fun if he does that? And then he's the last for the final?
Yeah, that would be
And
fun
that
for
was
you.
my
That was
1332 right there.
exactly what you said.
So first goal is to actually get someone to bowl 1332, and then hope it's the
And
cut.
then go on. Okay. Anton
Anton
Persson,
Persson.
if he strikes out, it will be on to. Oh, now it's not going to strike out. He just
710.
left the 710.
That is rough.
And that's 20 pins lower, so he was going to go for 236. That's going to be a 212 or 213 if he strikes out. So he's going to be just 106 over. And then the other one that was doing okay was Robin Norberg. And now he's bowling long. I lost him.
Martin with another strike after his
Yeah,
8 spare.
yeah, he's
So
got an open frame on the 9th frame. And he needs to triple to make 186. So he's going to not even shot close to 1300.
Yeah, Hakim had a pretty weird day. Starting really bad, then he did really, really good to end it bad.
And he's going to end up really, really bad as well. Yeah. No 1350s, no 1340s.
no 1400s.
And that's why Victor and I are usually sitting down on this room commenting, and Robert is really actually working as a professional coach.
Now they look tough. They look really tough. It was a little bit in the beginning. It looked like some people were comfortable, but after that, I can't really say that anyone has looked comfortable
No,
for a
that's
few
true.
games in a row.
Even on the body language, you haven't seen anybody feeling like comfortable all day long. Like, okay, maybe this game wasn't that high, but I know what I'm doing.
I think
like it's a little bit of struggling around.
I think the only one that's been up there in the top 5 the whole time almost has been James. He started in the lead and he's always hovered around the top 5 at least.
Yeah, and the most steady one was still Robin with all the games between 213 and 221. That's only 8 pins difference from the highest to the lowest game.
And actually now Martin could be one of the players bowling the highest block. He can get to 1322, right?
That's true. Well, we don't see that many lefties comparing to right-handers, but they're not doing that bad either. I mean, the fact that James is up there, it proves you can bowl. So we haven't really seen a big struggle because the right-handers are moving deeper in the lane.
There haven't been that many lefties actually that have bowled at all.
But maybe we can ask some of them later on, as soon as the squad is over. It could be an interesting interview. We can grab James and ask him, did you feel any affectance because of the right-handers moving deeper and deeper? Did that affect your lane? Was it the same for you? Was it any difference?
Yeah.
Martin got away with barely getting to the head pin, and it managed to strike.
That was a very light pocket, right?
Yeah, taking care of the pins whenever I hurt them.
Yeah. Let's see if Marcus is getting ready for his last frame. He can get to 1312.
So Joachim ended up with 59 over. Carl's gonna end up with 10 under. Noel, he just was the leader of the previous squad. He shot 40 under. Robin Lindberg has been fighting all day long with quite okay games, but he had the low 175 on the last one, so he dropped down to 1240. Let's see what else we see. Philip Williamson is not gonna do his highest series either.
Marcus closed his fist, so I think that was a strike. I mean,
a very terrible bat frame, 10th frame split
Martin.
for Martin. Yeah.
1312, it has a potential for
leading the squad.
Yeah, and also for the early bird. James can still get to 28. So he could pass Newell with 1 pin.
Mhm.
Then he would be in very good position for the early bird.
And Martin shoots 1285 after that open, so
Oof, that was expensive.
he could have shot 1300 actually if he
1320.
yeah.
I could have ended up leading the squad with a strikeout.
Oh, there's a motorbike outside of our room here.
And 1301 for Marcus. So James just needs a mark to be
The squad leader.
squad leader, and if he triples, he's in a great position of taking the early bird.
We
First
had a
shot, strike.
we had a quick question for Louis here. Somebody asking if you're playing the tournament.
No, not this time. Unfortunately, I have a medical issue. It's not going to allow me to bowl. So I'm just going to be hanging around and doing a lot of stuff, but not bowling this time. Hopefully next year I'm going to do my re-entry into the event and bowl again. I really would have liked to bowl, but to be honest, I would have really liked to bowl the previous year because last year the shot was really far outside, and that's really my comfortable area. But also medical issues didn't allow me to bowl last year. That's the problem when you start getting older. You get more and more pains here and there, and it becomes a little bit tougher. But I promise to bowl next year if I'm healthy again.
Sounds good. So James didn't get the other one. He actually missed the head pin, but only left the 3 pin. But he's gonna still get to 13-17 as a squad leader. Okay, I think that's pretty much
Yeah,
it for
that's
this
pretty
one.
much it for this squad. We thank you everybody for your attention and your patience with our non-stopping of talking of the past and the memories. But we just try to give you the best information we can and try to help, especially those who are not professional bowlers and they want to understand a little bit more and better what goes on around the game. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Robert. I guess we'll be seeing each other's during the week, and we probably will be back in doing some commenting sooner or later.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the streams, and thank you, Robert. Thank you, Louis.
Bye bye.
Head
See you
up.
next time.
Bye.
Nästa gång kan vi inte köra det här nära